This week on episode 22 of the Circle of Eight podcast, as we're going to go ahead and discuss, our thoughts about Clash of Champions. Also, we'll discuss about the WWE draft coming up. Also about Raw, Anderson's new theme song, the return of the Glorious, and also pro wrestling news. Also, the Ring of Honor Pure title tournament update. Also, as well with the New Japan G1 Climax update from day 5 to day 8. And this past week's NXT, AEW Dynamite, and as well the NXT TakeOver coming in Sunday as episode 22 starts right about now. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Circle of Eight podcast, episode 22. As it flies away, I'm your host, the devious one, Ivan C. Alongside with my brothers from another mother, we got the Seidels, the Murphys, the Kellermans, the Steamos, the Cordonas. It's Matt's world all over the world. Whoever's Matt, any viewers are Matt, you're this guy predominantly from now on moving forward. That is Mr. Kellerman. I don't know what he's doing. I think he's looking at his water or vodka. I don't know. And that is Mr. Matt the Steamboat, ladies and gentlemen. And also we have the hero of all heroes that's going to save us from this heat, from this pandemic, with the 12-inch pythons and giving you the finger. No. F you Retribution. And F you Vinnie Mac. That's the Great American Hero. Ice cream. There you go. The Great American Hero.
No. I'm bringing the heat tonight. Episode 22. Let's go.
Caliente.
Caliente. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and start this off. What a week of professional wrestling. And we got a lot to discuss about. So let's go ahead and discuss with the outcome of Clash of Champions. So I see, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you go to circledebate.com, like I said, once again, we will provide more content pretty soon. Mr. Hero wrote his thoughts about, Clash of Champions. He gave a whole review. So check out our website, see the subscription below with the link. You can click on it and you can read it up upon his, thoughts about it. So speaking of that, let's ask Mr. Hero, your thoughts about Clash of Champions overall.
It started off with a bang. My goodness, that match, probably the best match of 2020 so far. The main event was, I don't know, I haven't made up my mind yet. It just was something that I'm sure we'll talk about in a bit, but definitely a good start and an interesting finish.
Definitely. Mr. Steamboat, your thoughts about Clash of Champions?
A whole bag of surprises and talent and magical unicorns and horses and monkeys. No.
Okay. Well, my thoughts about it, obviously, you're right. What a great opening match for the triple threat match, for the Intercontinental, championship, for the ladder match. Love it. It was great. By far, one of the best matches as of this year so far yet. In WWE. I love they put in Jeff Hardy, AJ Styles, and Sami Zayn. And this match culminated Sami Zayn to be on top, which he was the winner of and regained the Intercontinental Champion. I love it. I'm glad that Sami is back. I'm a big fan of his work when he was El Generico. Ole, 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 ole. So, everybody remembers. Sorry, Sami, I had to put it out there. But yes, Sami Zayn won that great opening match. We won the Intercontinental title, so definitely, fuck you, Dave Meltzer. All right, this is 10 stars. All right,
we're using the Muda scale. The Muda scale is 1 to 10.
Okay, the Muda. This 10 stars. 10. I give it a 10. 10. Great performance from all three of them. That's definitely. And obviously, a lot of changes happened because of the COVID-19 situation. No Nia, no Nikki, no Shayna. So a lot of, lot of matches changed. You know, so we had Bailey, you know, facing Asuka, and that was a quick one. Sasha came in, and of course we're gonna see that what's gonna happen with that feud. But speaking about the main event, yes, the main event was horrible for me. I did not enjoy it. I was expecting Roman Reigns to come out with a new theme song. Okay, you took off the vest. Okay, so what? And really, you're taking Uso's face in the camera, like, yeah, he's smiling too. Like, what the fuck? What's up with that? Like, what the fuck was that? Like, I just need to ask, and I'll answer, you know, from, you know, about it. So, you think this match elevated Roman Reigns as a heel? And I'm gonna say it. No, it did not. This was the stupidest. You know, all due respect to, you know, Jey Uso, but the stupidest feud for him to start as a heel, ridiculous. It wasn't. No, I didn't like it at all. And the ending of it, you throw in the towel, like, come on, it was. And then his brother asked him, "You want to give up?" No, I'm like, no shit, he's gonna say no. So I mean, ridiculous. I did not enjoy it at all. So Mr. Hero, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm wondering if they're trying to steal things from, like, like when WCW was stealing things from WWE, or WWE was stealing things from WCW, and they were making it more like a worse version of it, you know, like a cheesy, not well executed version of it, just because the other one did it. Just because I think that, like, recently we've been seeing some towels being thrown in AEW, what with, like, you know, with the Cody Jericho match and MJF, and then Taz and Brian Cage with that towel. And I feel like they're trying to do the same thing here. So I'm guessing this is like them. It's like, if AEW did it, we could do it better, you know?
They did it shittier, not better.
Exactly. That's the mindset.
Unfortunately. Mr. Hero, your thoughts about that?
You know what they say, that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. So I think that AEW is being watched by WWE, and they kind of see what's working for them. And like Matt said, they're imitating some things because I think that they know that they're a threat. But as for the match itself, and I don't know, I just can't put my finger on it, but it wasn't horrible for me. Some of the things worked, but it didn't. It just I feel in the entire spectrum of heel turns, I don't see this as anything memorable. We're not going to be talking about this 10 years from now. But you know, like Ivan says, you know, it doesn't help Roman's heel turn. I feel like the heel turn would be, or to get him for people to hate him, just keep what you were doing with him as a face. People were booing him then, very loud,
I
and
agree.
just keep doing that. There you go. Part of me actually enjoyed when he would just show up late to the match and just, you know, pin whoever was vulnerable. I actually enjoyed that, but just, I don't know, just shove them down their throats, WWE. That's all you got to do. We'll hate him for it. That's all.
I mean, you're right, because I mean that's what he was doing before as a babyface. You're shoving him down through our throats. God damn it, have him there. But you know, like, now you're gonna do this, make him a heel, a first feud with Jey Uso. Like, really? No, horrible. Get someone, you know, Daniel Bryan would make more sense for that. At least Daniel Bryan, or shit, I would put Matt Riddle or someone, you know. Someone different, not just Jey Uso. Like, and then go ahead.
Can I just say that now that I'm kind of remembering? My goodness, I'm so very. The only thing that disappointed me, of course, is we got no J Mania. J Mania is dead. Oh my god! Like, I was about to make shirts and all that stuff, and that's down the drain. So, thanks a lot.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Roman. Thanks a lot, Vinny. Appreciate that. But, you know, we'll wait and see what will be the next feud, if the feud will continue. Obviously, you know, he's going to be crowned as a chief, whatever the fuck. I mean, that's another stupid shit. And I'm like, all right. I don't know what you're doing with this, with this crap. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not liking it at all. I mean, I don't know if they're doing this purposely, but it's working for me. But would I tune in? No, I can't. I can't. I mean, I have to, but if I was up to me, no, not a problem. Sorry. But moving on with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and move on. Obviously, the announcement of the WWE draft coming up on October 9th, which will be the following Friday, which will happen the first night on SmackDown. We already saw two already that moved from SmackDown to Raw, which the first one obviously was Mandy Rose being traded to Raw. I don't know for what. And then obviously we saw Dana Brooke debuting on Raw. So, and them as a tag team, them defeating Lana and Natalia. So I want to ask you, gentlemen, your thoughts about the draft and name at least 2 stars you would take, and where would you put them where actually they will fit. So I will ask you, Mr. Hero, what superstar would you move to where, and will actually fit to be there? So name 2.
First of all, since you brought up that match, I think Lana's losing streak continues for the, I think, 3rd or 4th week, man. But yeah, I mean, right off the bat, my first thought is Seth Rollins. Let's get him off of Raw, put him on SmackDown, and Randy Orton. I feel Randy Orton, his momentum has kind of gone down. He's jumping old people now, and he's not making a solid case for the title anymore. So make him go to SmackDown, turn him face, Orton versus Reigns. Why not?
Yeah. All right. Mr. Steamboat, who would you take?
It's like I haven't been following the product as closely as recently, but whatever show Nakamura's currently on,
SmackDown.
Let's just give him as much movement as we can. As long as if they give him whichever show gives him the better matches, and whichever show gives him a title shot for the world title.
I say SmackDown. He's perfectly fine in SmackDown. I will not move him.
Okay, there we go.
I will not move Nakamura at all. First of all, he's a tag team champion. It's Cesaro. I would not move none of those guys to Raw. Never. I would move Strowman to Raw, Braun Strowman to Raw. I'll put Andrade to SmackDown.
There we go.
I'll put Andrade or Ricochet to SmackDown because they ain't doing shit for Ricochet on Raw. He should go to SmackDown. Well, better opportunities, better feuds with Riddle. He already had it with AJ, Daniel Bryan. Why not? Everybody wants to see a Ricochet Daniel Bryan match. I would like to see that. I don't see Daniel Bryan moving to Raw or anything. They're right now catering to him. He did give a lot for the company, but we'll just wait to see what happens on October 9th to see who goes where, or maybe even tonight on SmackDown. We'll see who actually went from Raw to SmackDown. We'll find out. So stay tuned for that, ladies and gentlemen. Keep an eye on SmackDown on October 9th and the night 2 on Raw the following, that day. So, and then we'll see who goes where, and if there may be any call-ups from NXT roster to the main roster. We don't know. So stay tuned for that. And speaking about Raw, let's go ahead and speak about Raw. Obviously, we did see they're going with the stupid fucking storyline over and over. And now, but Leah now, but he's not like Seth. He's not like Seth. Her costing costing her brothers a match against Buddy Murphy. Slapping them. I'm like, wow, that was predictable. It was already there. Now, so what are we seeing here, Mr. Hero? What do you see with this? Where's it gonna go with this storyline? Do you see Murphy being face, or do you see Aaliyah turning her back on the family? What do you see on this?
We're seeing the beginning of a legendary career of Aaliyah Mysterio, future multiple time champion, Royal Rumble winner, and Queen of the Ring. I mean, hey, who knows, right? And I don't know. This storyline seems silly to me, and I don't see it as to helping Murphy at all. I don't think Murphy is the main point here. I think it's to get Aaliyah on our screens. I don't know how much training, if any, she's done in the ring, or if they're having her as a manager in the future, or what the plans there are. But if they're giving her this amount of TV time is because something's going to happen. Maybe she's up for a contract or something. We don't know, right? But they're investing time on her. And it's almost as if she's taking, or maybe I feel like it's kind of like the beginning of her taking the spotlight away from Dominic. I feel Dominic should have been, the storyline should be more him-centric. And I honestly think he should have been in NXT already. What's he doing on Raw still against Rollins and Murphy? He's not going to beat Rollins. He already beat Murphy. There is no point. Get him to NXT, get him against the younger guys, and this whole Aaliyah thing, just drop it. No, we don't want it.
Definitely, I agree. They should drop the shit out of that storyline and just move on. Dominic, go to NXT. Go ahead and fight for the cruiserweight. Go to that cruiserweight division. Go. Do how we said in our previous archives, which don't forget, subscribe, look at our previous archives. But yeah, the storyline is shitty. Whoever's idea was that, pathetic. It was stupid. Mr. Steamboat, I'm pretty sure you feel the same way. How do you feel about this continuing storyline?
That's how I feel.
He answered it. He answered
I pulled an AJ Styles. I don't have a son to be like, what? Yeah, exactly.
We actually edited down. It was an hour long, that reaction.
Took a long time for that reaction. Right.
Maybe I should just hold up every time. It's like I should just hold up like a cardboard cutout of AJ Styles' head and be like, "Yep, that's how I feel."
All right, let's move on. Let's move on with Aleister Black, obviously debuting a new theme song. He had a great match with Kevin Owens. Unfortunately, it ended horribly, which I'll bring up also that another topic as well in regards. But I want to ask, I'll ask you, but once again, Mr. Hero, your thoughts of Aleister's new theme song, and what do you think? Do you give it a thumbs up, medium, or thumbs down? What do you give it?
Yeah, I feel like it's going to take me a while to get used to this one. His old one was just, I don't know, on another level, I feel. Man, it's like, as a musician, I thought about learning it on guitar, and our good friend Chris the other day played it for us, and it sounded awesome. It's a really cool riff, his old theme, and I don't know. This new one, I'll give it another shot. Let's see how it goes.
Mr. Steamboat.
I gotta say, I haven't heard the new Aleister Black theme song. I know about all the dark energy around his persona, so it really has to fit, especially with that image, especially somebody who's associated with the Undertaker or any dark gimmicks for that matter. It's gotta, unless the theme isn't so out of left field. It's like sunshine, lollipops, and it's not. He's not coming out to the ring to that, is he?
He's not. This is very different. It's like I'm trying to mesh with it.
Is it like I'm throwing down in the club with my girls and what is it still a rock song at least?
It's still a rock song. It's still a rock song, but it's just very different. I'm assuming because the fact that it couldn't be CFO because it's Agent Orange that really sings the song. So I don't know.
The old one, right? Or the new one?
Yeah, it's the old one.
Okay.
I don't know about the new one. I don't know if it's Agent Orange. I need to do more.
I gotta listen to this.
I gotta do more research on that. But yeah, I'm right here right now with that. I need to get used to it. How you said, Mike. I gotta get used to that.
Well, with the new theme song, does he have a change in gimmick? That's the main thing. Is it still pretty much the same thing, or
no? It's different. This is more like evil. Fucking, he just under none of the wakey thing. He didn't do none of that. He just marched to the ring with tights. No longer wearing the short shorts. He's wearing tights now, pants, and so in one eye is different color eye. Like Kane style. Doing that gimmick because of the loss. He lost his eye, type of shit. But we're waiting to see. So far, I like the feud with him and Kevin Owens. I just didn't like the botch. And this is what's really getting to me right now, too. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention. But lately, there's been a lot of referee botches. And I'm curious now to know and and correct me if I'm wrong. This is my opinion. I feel they're doing this on purpose. They've been doing this a lot lately. And what's up with that? Like what? Help me here, Mike. Why are they doing this type of shit with the referee botches? You feel like it's on purpose? Because we've been seeing this a lot lately. So you tell me, what do you think? How do you feel about that?
I haven't noticed. Has it been the same referee?
No, it's been different referees. Yeah,
different referees.
Yeah.
It's something that in 20 years I've only seen once. In a Royal Rumble 99 where Teddy Long actually counted the 3 on X-Pac, and that wasn't supposed to happen. So they just played it off and continued the match. In my all the time watching wrestling, it only happened once that I know of. So to see it happen so often in such a little time, it can't be a coincidence. It just can't.
I agree.
Either that, or you send everybody back to school because it doesn't look good at all.
If I was a ref, that'd be the thing I'd be the most scared of doing, like counting the 3 when I'm not supposed to. I'd always be counting like Shawn Michaels on Bret Hart every single time. I'd be like, 1, 2, 3. Okay. You had me waiting. You didn't break it.
Right? It's like Earl Hebner is like one of my favorites of all time because I love it when he gets hurt. He goes in there, he's grabbing his chest. He's like,
he sells it.
He sells it. He's a good seller. Him and Mike.
Or like The Rock when he counted 1, 2. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter if The Rock counts to 3.
You know what? They should call up our buddy Chris and have him ref the match.
There you go. CK1. You gotta get a phone. Papa Vinny, call our buddy CK1, Chris. He can referee for you. Even we can. Mike has a referee shirt. Why not? The Great American Hero can do it. He can save you. He can save you from all this debacle, this botchamania you've been doing. Jeez. Moving on with that, the other thing I would like to move on, what's next for Keith Lee? You got him in the main roster, okay? He squashed Andrade, horrible. What's next now for him? Should he go for the United States belt, or what the fuck is gonna? They're not gonna put him for the main championship. So I'll ask you guys, who should he feud next since he's on a Raw main roster? Who do you think will be a perfect fit for him as a feud? Because there's nobody else right now. You got to have Orton and McIntyre Hell in a Cell rematch. So what should Keith Lee do? What is next for Keith Lee? Mike, what should they do with Keith Lee?
Man, I'll be honest. I would have wanted to see him in the Hurt Business. I would have seen him. I would have wanted to see him in there. But I think that if anything, WWE probably is going to put him against them and go for the United States title. You know, who wouldn't want to see Keith Lee and Bobby Lashley? You know, two of the biggest strong guys there.
So there you go.
On Raw. You know, it writes itself. You know, have MVP try to recruit him. He's got nothing going on. Should be an easy recruit, right? But no, he's like, no, you know. You've been messing around with my boy Apollo Crews and all that stuff. And so, you know, I actually think either with or against the Hurt Business.
So, yeah, I mean, I would put it against. Why not? That's actually a great idea. Have him feud with the Hurt Business, beating them 1 by 1 to get to Bobby Lashley for the U.S. Championship. Why the hell not? And then have him win it. The hell with it. I'm sorry, Bobby. I mean, you deserve to keep it, but I mean, shit. I'd rather have Keith Lee do something, you know? He could probably make that United States title prestigious and, you know, do Buster John Cena defend it every week. Why not, you know? What do you think, Mr. Steamboat? What do you think they should do with Keith Lee? Should he feud with the Hurt Business, or who would you put him feud against?
There's a lot of ways. It really depends on how he is in the match, though. That's like that's another factor. Because you said, like, he just squashed Andrade?
Yeah.
Basically went down. It's like that should have been, you know, that should have been something that was drawn out at least, you know, made each other look good, you know. So it's like how you lay out the matches with them. Like, was he not allowed to, this is WWE. They're not letting them do what they're best at. So
No.
that's kind of, so.
That's why we're going to have Andrade go to SmackDown. The hell with it. Leave Garza on Raw.
Exactly.
And put Andrade on SmackDown. It sucks that they spread him up with, with Selena. I mean, shit, don't get me wrong, she's not the best in the ring. She's okay. But she's a better fit as a manager role. She should be as a manager or be a manager for a new faction. The hell with it. For the Lucha Bros. Why not? Lucha House Party. Why not her go to SmackDown and have her make them as heels? That'll be great. Her and Kalisto, and or just make Kalisto heel. She's going heel anyways. That's what it looks like. But something, See, Vinny, give us a call. Give us a call, Vinny. Bruce, you hear it, Bruce. You hear our podcast every week. Call us, bro. It doesn't hurt. It does not hurt to DM us either. We can provide you good shit. Damn it, good shit. Mm-hmm. But anyways, let's go ahead and move on with that. I also want to move on. The return. We haven't seen this man in forever. And so I got to put us on. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. The return of the glorious one, Robert Roode. I was happy to see him back. Looks in great shape. Looks like he hasn't been out of, hasn't lost a step at all. And I'm glad that he's back on Raw, but he should go to SmackDown. I don't know. Raw is just not. I'm not having a Raw. But hopefully we'll see him feuding for the belt. Why not? He should be the next one in line. It's about time to see Robert Roode feuding for the WWE Championship. Why the hell not make it happen, Vince? So, Mr. Hero, what do you thought about Mr. Roode? Look great shape. Look like he has lost a step. And where do you see his future moving on Raw?
Not gonna happen. He's not gonna challenge for the WWE title anymore. He got beat, right in the middle of the ring, and it's unfortunate because you have him come back and just there you go. He's beaten. He has a lot of potential. I feel like that theme song, man, just is so catchy also, and his in-ring skills are awesome. He definitely belongs on SmackDown. And honestly, I feel like a lot of wrestlers belong on SmackDown. Just the Raw format is no good for a lot of people. The whole 3-hour thing is bad. It's just so for Bobby Roode, man, he definitely could carry a main event feud. So I don't know. I mean, he is among the talent that is just kind of thrown into things and nothing really happens, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah, I totally agree. Mr. Steamboat, your thoughts?
Bobby Roode is the power. And so once again, when you're too much of a helicopter parent, you're not letting your butterfly blossom, to keep it simple.
Yeah, I agree. That's very, 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 very true. All right, so let's go ahead and before we move on, my apologies, I forgot the most stupidest segment of all time. This is why Mike said that Randy should go to SmackDown. Speaking of Randy Orton, really night vision goggles. You turn off the lights. You hear. Come on. We already know it's bullshit. Oh. Everybody's laid out. Help me out here, Mike. Why?
I can't help you. The hero. I can't help you because I can't be there to help out the legends with those night vision goggles. It's just no. Come on, man. When the DVD of the self-destruction of WWE is released, this, Retribution, Raw Underground they're gonna have their own chapters on the DVD set. So
I cannot wait for that to happen.
Copying this is once again, this is another example of them copying AEW. You know, they got like their own version of the Dark Order. They got the throwing in the towel. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be like a RJF or something like that, like a discount MJF show up at some point. You know, what else? Like what, Kevin Ultra or something? What else? Like I don't want to jinx it, but if what I say is gonna come true, I'm gonna laugh so hard. My God.
I can tell you who they will make their MJF, and that'll be Angel Garza. Angel Garza will be that MJF in the Latino version. Mark my word. And now he's gonna be singles. They're gonna make him that person. Vince loves him. Vince loves him. Oh yeah, I love him. I love him. Guys, shit.
We need our own version of that.
We need our own version, Latino heat style. You know. Yeah.
He's like Eddie Guerrero and MJF. Love it.
Love it. It's good shit. Moving on with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and move on with professional wrestling news. Now, let's give you the updates in regards for the COVID-19 situation. Obviously, Retribution did not show up at Clash of Champions because all of them are quarantined. Because either one of the members had tested positive, so they had to quarantine everybody just in case to be on the safe side, as well as 2 referees from Raw, and obviously Nikki Cross. She approached someone that was tested positive. Same with Nia, Shayna, but everybody's saying they're like Mia Yim said she's okay. Shayna says she's fine. So I guess they're just taking precautionaries as possible. And so that's what's going on with Retribution and with the rest of the stars. That's why a lot of they're using the skeleton crew. They've been using, like, for example, they've been using the female ref from SmackDown to Raw, because there's 2 refs out. So I don't know who are they. I don't know who. I can't tell you, but hopefully they're safe. Hopefully they get their 2 weeks, and we'll see from there. And speaking of COVID, we saw Warner Media giving kudos to Tony Khan and AEW because they have done a phenomenal job of taking this pandemic and taking it very seriously and doing the precautionaries to keep their talent and staff safe. And Warner Media give him a big congratulations, and so do we. We give Tony Khan a lot of great credit, and kudos, my brother. Kudos. You're doing better than what fucking Vinny is doing. Vinny has like 30, 40 fucking people, and you're just only one. Great fucking shit, though. Hands down to you, Mr. Khan. Good shit. All right. And then also we had The Rock commenting of the returning of the XFL, which they'll be back on 2022 of spring. And The Rock said third looks a charm. So hopefully they're hiring everybody back from, this previous one. So everybody's, the coaches and players will be back. And hopefully I cannot wait for XFL in 2022. It sucks that it's going to happen the following year, but obviously they're trying to get everything ready, precautionaries as well with the whole COVID-19 situation. And let's see where it goes from there. And also, we did confirm that Tegan Knox did, torn her ACL. So damn it again, that's the 3rd time. And that sucks for her, man, because she was doing great. I love her feud with Candice LeRae. Let's hope for the best of her. Speedy recovery, and hopefully, she comes back sooner than ever, better, and hopefully this time avoid touring that ACL. Watch it. You gotta be careful with that. And also, the only thing I want to mention as well is, Undisputed Era split. There was rumor in your windows. Remind you, ladies and gentlemen, we're just opinionators. We are you. We are the fans. We're not fucking Dave Meltzer. We're not Wade Keller. We're not fucking Brian Alvarez. Fuck them all. Here's my salute to you, fuckers. So, but yes, there's room in your windows that there's a consideration of splitting the Undisputed Era, making Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole the baby faces, and Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish as the heels, and having a possible feud within each other down the line in the near future in NXT. So I'll ask you, Mr. Hero, is that a good move or a bad move for them to split them up and have Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly as a face, and Strong and Bobby Fish as a heel. What are your thoughts about this rumor in your window?
I don't like it because I like seeing them together. I think that their faction had the potential to be what Retribution is trying to be, to cause the chaos and to walk in there as a group and dominate. I think the Undisputed Era built their name as a faction in NXT, and they would have been able to take that momentum to Raw or SmackDown. So, I mean, but in the end, these four guys are very capable in the ring. Sure, if that's where they're going, okay, I'm willing to go on the ride and let's see how it goes.
All right, definitely, Mr. Steamboat, good or bad? What do you think?
Yeah, well, so Undisputed Era, it's the faction could continue on, but it's like I don't know what's going. Once again, I think I asked the question: what happened to the fourth guy? Like last time I checked, it was like 3 of them, and it was like there was a fourth dude. What's going on with him right now?
No, Bobby Fish, yeah, but prior, remember, it was only 3 without Kyle O'Reilly. Then Kyle O'Reilly came back, because he took precautions because he's diabetic, and obviously he had to be precautions of the COVID-19 situation. And so now Bobby Fish, obviously, he's come around, has come, and so it's just lately they've been doing is separating, doing individual shit, so more like Bobby Fish with Roger Strong, like on his singles competition or tag team, which is competing. So
knowing the WWE, they kind of have a habit of dragging things out, or continuing things on long after they died, kind of like how they did with DX, like they just kept it going. so who knows, like it's just, especially the fact like Shawn Michaels and Triple H are probably in Adam Cole's ears, like, you should keep it continuing on and you should keep adding members, so who knows, we could see like there's probably going to be like another incarnation of Undisputed Era. It could be like Undisputed Era gold, silver and gold, or who knows.
Yeah,
the new Undisputed Era.
Oh yeah, the new Undisputed
like the new
Era.
Nexus.
That's true. Yep. Very true.
It's like NWO red and black, NWO red and white. Just like they might just continue it.
Definitely. Speaking of moving on with that, so also we're gonna move on. John Cena just came out recently on Jimmy Fallon. Obviously, with the question asked, so are you retired or what the fuck? What's going on? He said it's not over. He said he's not currently active. As of right now, he said his in-ring career is not over. So he hasn't wrestled since WrestleMania. That's April. So that was his last appearance, and I think prior to that in January of last year as well. So he's been making appearances like once a year, I believe so. Which obviously for April, for WrestleMania, this past WrestleMania. So I'll ask you, Mr. Hero, does this surprise you? Or do you see John Cena retiring anytime soon? And should he really hang it up, or should he just keep on going until whenever the time comes?
You know what? I think that John Cena has earned this legend status or legendary status of, just wrestling one match a year. It makes it special. He's at that point in his career, and he's a movie star now. He's going to be one of the main villains. I think the main villain for Fast and Furious.
Yes.
And he's in Suicide Squad and all sorts of stuff. He's going to have his own Marvel series, I think.
Peacemaker, yes.
Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, his stock is rising. It's only going up. And, yeah, I mean, he's earned it. He's earned all that stuff. And, for all those people that chanted against him at One Night Stand 2006 and now want him back, there you go. There it is,
And there you have
it. I'm happy for John Cena. He seems like a cool dude. And, yeah, much success to him.
Definitely. Mr. Steamboat, your thoughts?
So, I'm wondering how many people are playing with this scenario in their head of history of repeating itself. Because I'm wondering if you guys are thinking the exact same thing I'm thinking. You know, not those at 1993, Hulk Hogan left WWF. He was, and then it was like, what was it, like 94, 95? He came to WCW. It was 95, I think.
Around that 94, I believe the year right after. I'd done
Yeah.
before that. I think but no, it was the year right after.
94.
Yeah, 94. Yeah.
And he was filming Thunder in Paradise. For all we know, there's, and once again, it's in Florida again. So, you know, it's like, oh yeah, we have to shoot the scene for Fast and Furious over in Jacksonville, Florida.
And there you have John Cena.
So who knows? And then, but I don't know if Tony Khan would just happen to be on set with, you know, a suitcase or something like that, or it could be them.
Or a lunchbox.
It could be them filming in China, and then it could be like Shima there somewhere, like walking around, because he speaks Chinese, so it could be like Shima meeting up with John Cena and be like, they could just shoot the breeze over in Chinese to each other, like speaking Chinese to each other, like near the OWE set, and then suddenly it's like, no, don't worry, Vince, it's OWE, it's not AEW, and then like, you know, months later, you know.
I mean, I don't see John Cena going to any other organization at all. He's loyal to Vince. He owes Vince a lot of gratitude for helping him develop his career and the person that he is today. If it wasn't for that John Cena that he did,
it's his baby. Yeah,
that's his baby. That's his Hulk Hogan of this era. You know, that's his Hulk Hogan. And I'm with Mike on that. That John Cena's a legend. He deserves, you know, to do whatever the hell he wants, and Vince cannot tell him shit.
Was the steroid scandal around the same time that he left to the WCW?
What was the scandal?
The steroid scandal
with Hogan.
Oh yeah, he left right after. Yeah. But Cena, obviously, Cena backed him up a lot, you know. So, and Cena did work his ass off to be where he's at. I love John Cena as a person. Love him as a performer in the beginning. I don't like him of his in-ring style's ability. But it finally wore off to me because the guy's a great promo fucking master. He's a genius in the promos. He can sell, man. John Cena, anytime, come back. He should be welcome up open doors. And please, come back, take away Roman Reigns' title, man. Make him look like shit. You shouldn't have put him over on No Mercy. He shouldn't have done that. God. All right. Moving on. All right. And then also we got from New Japan News, obviously New Japan's the president, which is, you know, Harold Meij, is stepping down as CEO and president as the, you know, Bushy Road decided to go ahead and direct, you know, obviously the shareholders decided to move on forward without him. So he's stepping down after being CEO president since May of 2018. Obviously his role was to go ahead and develop New Japan to be noticed around the world. And I believe he did do that a lot in the States, especially here in the United States, expanding New Japan and also having New Japan Strong here and also the New Japan Dojo up here in SoCal. So it's an unfortunate he's stepping down, but it could be possibly maybe he needs to focus on, you know, Bushy Road's, you know, stock markets, because he's a great, you know, his background is a financial advisor, and he did help a lot of companies up, you know, along the way. And he was a big professional wrestling fan since 8 years old, lived in Japan, so he knows the Japanese strong style. So they're moving on forward with him. And replacing him is obviously the New Japan USA CEO, which is for the strong style, and that's what Takami Orabi. So he's going to be taking over his place as of October 23rd. So he's still president until October 23rd, and then he move on. So Matt, I'll ask you, you think that was a great move on Bushy Road to go ahead and move forward, move forward without Harold, or how do you feel about him, you know, stepping down as CEO?
So the new guy's actually, I think he went to school in Irvine. I'm not sure if it's UC Irvine, but I know he's from that area. So he's kind of like in tune to like a little bit more of like the daily youth American culture, probably, because like UCI and that whole crowd, they're very trendy, young, you know, very modern. So he's kind of like being around people that go to UCI. He's probably, you know, has, you know, absorbed some of their mindsets. Like, so Americans are kind of into this thing nowadays. So he could probably be more in tune to that, though. So, you know, who knows where this could lead, though. You know, Bushiroad owns a lot of things. They own the Anime Bang Dream. They have they bought Stardom, and who knows what they could absorb in the coming months.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. I mean, we'll have to wait to see what's he gonna do. But did you feel Harold did anything to help and develop New Japan when he's president? I mean, when he was president. But did you feel anything that he did? Any accomplishment during his tenure?
Yeah, Harold Meiji has pros and cons, though. I'd say definitely more pros. But I don't have anything against the new guy. The new guy is gonna, you know, we're gonna see a lot of big changes and probably a lot more fluidity. Probably like less restrictions, even more. Though Harold Meiji was very great, though. Like watching him in interviews, you know, I kind of had him confused with another guy who hosts like a Japanese documentary, and he's also like half Japanese, half white. But Harold's pretty solid, though. He was
definitely. I mean, the guy's from Netherlands. I mean, the guy's a solid guy. I like him. I like how they did his promo for him a while back when he like, you know, I think one of the Bushiroad board members called him, "Man, I need you to take over New Japan." Sure, why not? I'll see you in Osaka.
Wait a minute, I got a quick thing for both of you guys since you're both drummers. Did you guys watch that video where it's like April Fool's Day joke for New Japan, and it's Tanahashi playing guitar, some guy singing, and it's either Harold Meiji singing or playing drums.
I have not seen it.
It's pretty awesome. It's
I gotta see it. I have to see that. But
since we're talking about New Japan, I kind of have a sidebar question.
Yes.
I saw somewhere in an article or something that I think John Moxley said it that he hopes New Japan, ROH, and all these other companies, AEW of course, and NWA start working together. You know, maybe even like cross promotion, and I don't think he necessarily said to beat WWE, but to kind of do more together. Have you guys heard about that?
I agree.
Yeah, I heard about that. He's more. It's more what Moxley basically stating that he just wants all these territories to come and unionize and actually work together. Pretty much stick it to WWE. Bottom line is like, here, fuck off. You know, like, I mean, because WWE bought Evolve, and you know, so it's like they're tearing all that shit to, you know, into pieces of shit. Like they're only buying the libraries. So ROH is lucky that they didn't sell. Thank God they didn't, because Ring of Honor was close of selling it until Sinclair came in and bought it off before like Vince, because Vince was gonna buy it and he gave a large amount of money for the price tag. But all he wants is the libraries. He wants the tapes. He doesn't want none of the talents. He just wants to take the libraries and put it on his network. And that's sad, you know? That's sad. It's unfortunate. And I'm hoping it doesn't happen for NWA. And I'm glad that Billy Corgan is pushing it and everything else. But yes, I agree with Moxley 100%. Everybody should work together. It just also New Japan is like the WWE in Japan. It's just that they're really restricted to work with, you know, with other territories. The only two territories they work with is Ring of Honor and CMLL. That's the only ones they work with so far. They sometimes do work with OWE, I believe, occasionally, but it's not, you know, not as much as you see. But
because I see AEW guys going over there.
Yeah, because they have contract stipulations. Like Moxley is allowed to go to New Japan. Kenny Omega is allowed to go to New Japan. I don't know about the Young Bucks. I don't know. I know that Lance Archer is allowed to go to New Japan as well because he worked in, you know, he came from New Japan. So, I mean, there's a lot of restrictions, you know, with different individuals because they work, especially with Moxley, him being the IWGP US champion. So, you know, it's
Jeff Cobb,
and Cobb. But see, Cobb's a freelance. Cobb's more on that side, you know.
He can do whatever he wants pretty much right now. I think one of the things to take away that Moxley said, he said this on the Jericho interview. He said, even if the only wrestling promotion was WWE, he would start his own promotion from scratch, you know, with whatever money he had saved up. That's how much Moxley believes in the outside world. Like, even if the only other promotion was a promotion that only drew like 10 people, Moxley would join that promotion, you know. That's how much he believes in like the outer world, and that just goes to show like how strong the independent spirit is, like within him. You know, just for the success for the outer world. So you know, we're really lucky to be like if I was starting out becoming a wrestler, I'd be thinking this is like best time ever.
I'll go
Yeah.
straight to the indies myself.
Mm-hmm.
Every independent promotion that is out there that is very, you know, because a lot of the locals, thank God, and that's what's missing here in SoCal. I mean, we do have loyal fans here, which our viewers, we are, you know, devoted fans to our local independent wrestlings like Bar Wrestling, Maverick Pro Wrestling, Santino Pro Wrestling, so many out there, Knox Pro Wrestling. They have different shows. We're very supportive of everybody, and that's what. And it should continue that way. And hopefully when this pandemic is over, we're able to, you know, have wrestling back and for the people and for us as fans, being able to go see these guys perform. Because a lot of these guys came from Southern California, Midwest, East Coast, and made a name out of themselves. And AEW, boom, pick them up. Then WWE, the only person that they did great, two people from SoCal, I would say, Keith Lee and Karrion Kross. So it's like they did a phenomenal job with them. And Jake Atlas as well, who's, you know, Santino's native. But, you know, the same with him. So I'm wishing the best for him as well. I like the push that they're giving him. So there's a lot.
Yeah.
So let's keep on supporting it and let's do the best we can. Speaking of SoCal, one professional wrestler who's suing these accusers, that's Joey Ryan. He filed the last lawsuit against his accusers for defamation and obviously losing income, losing $20,000 monthly because remember he got fired in June and his promotion shut down Bar Wrestling because of the accusations of sexual harassment at the time. So and he lost, you know, he had to shut down his Bar Wrestling. They let him go from Impact, so it was a difficult time for him, and he lost a lot of money. And now that he's countersuing, asking for a lot of money, I think he's asking about like $500,000. And in return, probably a little bit more than that. So, like by the way, ladies and gentlemen, look at our archives in the previous episode. We did discuss about Joey Ryan's, future. So I'll ask Mr. Hero right quick. Let's say if Joey Ryan wins, right? Let's say he wins the lawsuit. Do you see anything still for his career? Do you see anything, anything about his pro wrestling career, or do you think that's it? It's over? What do you think?
I'm not too familiar with his career per se, but in general, seeing the cases of other people, my most familiar example would be Sammy Guevara, what he said about Sasha Banks, and, he was recorded as to saying these things, and, he is in Dynamite right back, and, I feel that time heals all in this sort of sense. I would like to see him rebuild, especially as a Southern California person, born and raised. I know that I would definitely want to see him. I've never been to Bar Wrestling, so I've heard all about it. So I've been waiting to go and check it out myself, But yeah, I mean, I think that he should definitely fight for this. Regardless of how much money he's asking for, but anybody who believes in what they stand for or whatever, or their innocence, should fight for it. And yeah, I mean, hopefully it works out.
Definitely, let's hope it works out, and wish him the best. And hopefully, if he does win it back, I'm hoping he brings back Bar Wrestling, because we do need that shit back. It was fucking phenomenal shows. Like I said, until innocent, until proven innocent, until court of law.
Guilty, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm not gonna be the one like, fuck you, Joey Ryan. Like, nah, never. I have respect for the man as a talent, as a persona. He's a cool guy, very mellow. I'm hoping that he wins, and hopefully this will be cleared out for him, and he can finally, get back into the ring and bring back Bar Wrestling. We all need it. Give the people what they want in SoCal. That's right. Because we want to see PP Ray. Well, yeah, I don't want to get into that. But yeah, I want to see that.
So,
go ahead.
Specific example of also this kind of playing in their favor You know, it's like Will Ospreay also just for because of like negative things that been said about him and things he said he's done. You know, just something about like blackmail and blackballing and stuff like that. With him, you know, it didn't stop him from being there now in the G1 because there. I mean, I still see comments like recently he closed his Twitter page. And I still see like a lot of negative comments about Will Ospreay, and once again, you know, innocent until proven guilty, and many other things. But you know, New Japan isn't going to fire someone in another country who, you know, didn't commit like a specific crime. You know, in addition to that, like so many other things. So that's why, you know. They're like even one page just for like defending Will Ospreay got a lot of flack for it, you know. Like it's not as much of a case it is like they're not booing him in Japan and they're not being quiet for him. They're still clapping for him. Like you're not allowed to like boo or make noise right now, of course, in Japan because of COVID. But like he's still getting applause, he's still getting reaction, you know. He's still on the up and up, you know. He's not letting like the negative stuff like hold him down. You know, and that's kind of like an inspiration, you know. So
definitely, and I'm glad. You know, I'm glad that New Japan gets away from that type of shit because it's like, nah, we're professional wrestling. We don't get involved in that type of shit. Glad that they did a great job and how they're handling it. You know, not like other promotions how they're handling. I mean, which is understanding, obviously, because it's gonna look bad for your promotion. You know, so it's very understanding of why they'll let them go or have them furloughed or suspended or fired. It's a very understanding. It's like you're representing a promotion, and that will look bad for the promotion itself to just keep you on, you know, keep you employed because of, even though that we don't even know you're proven, you know, if it's, you know, innocent proven guilty, but still they'd rather get away from that because it will look really bad for the promotion. So, yeah, good luck for Joey Ryan. We'll see what happens. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. We'll take a quick break. We're going to go ahead. When we come back, we'll discuss about giving you the update of the Ring of Honor Pure title, which is who won between Freddie Ye and Silas Young, and who won between, you know, basically Josh Wood versus Kenny King. So, we'll be right back after these messages. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Devious One Ivan C here from Circle Debate Podcast, alongside with my brothers, the American hero, the great American hero with the 12-inch pythons, Mike Lopez, and also the serial killer, the social media killer, the killer of all killers, Josh Brett Horn, Reputation Killer. And also we have the Steamboats, the Cardonas, the Karen Beaters, the whatever the hell he's doing, the Max Kellerman, Matthew Steamboat. Stay tuned every Friday and Sunday to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You see that little ring button. You will get the alert that we're actually putting out every new episode every Friday. And also stay tuned every Sunday. We do have our top 5 of the week. Every week we have different top 5s. We already had dream matches. We already have, you know, best factions. Now we're going to do dream factions. So stay tuned. Follow us on our YouTube channel. Subscribe below. You'll see the little bell. We'll subscribe to it. And also don't forget to follow our other social media platforms on Twitter at Circle Debate. Also on Instagram at Circle Debate. So stay tuned every Friday and Saturday. Friday and Sunday. The beer's talking. That's what happens. But stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Don't miss it out. Circle Debate every Friday and Sunday. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Circle Debate Podcast. Now, let's go ahead and discuss what the Ring of Honor Pure title tournament update. Obviously, we saw, it's not over the first rounds. We saw 2 matches that happened and one that ended with no contest because the time limit was over. So let's go with the first one, which was the upset of all upsets, incredible upset for, kudos to Fred Yehi defeating Silas Young in a roll-up. That was another great match. I thought Silas Young was going to take it overall. Heavy-hitting matchup, but I didn't expect Fred Yehi to go ahead and move on, and now he advanced to the tournament. The match that was incredible, it was a back-to-forth, was obviously basically Josh Woods versus Kenny King. Obviously, the time limit, 15-minute time limit, was over, so it had to go down to the judges' card decisions. And obviously, the unanimous decision The winner is Josh Woods. And Kenny King was livid. And so what an incredible match of that. And this is finally we see a first match in this tournament that goes by, the judge's decision. Very close between all of them. And for me, in my opinion, it was kind of really difficult I really wanted Kenny King to win this one. I think Kenny King had this match won, honestly, by the impact moves that he did towards Josh Wood. So, gentlemen, your thoughts that now we see a first ever judge's decision on professional wrestling, and should this keep on moving forward? So I'll ask you, Mr. Hero.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds here's what I like about this. And I was thinking about this earlier today. If, for example, we have the match, or the two wrestlers have the match knowing that they're going to go to the decision, but neither of them knows who is actually going to get the decision, the wrestlers will not know the outcome of the match until the whoever announces it, right? And we will get like a legit response from them, like surprise and whatnot. And I think the great thing about decisions is going to be debate. No, but we had him winning the match. No, but we had him. Kind of what happens in mixed martial arts, and there's always this debate as to who really won it. And I in the sport of professional wrestling, which I do consider a sport.
Yes.
It's going to evolve in a way that people are going to start analyzing matches more in a way of, well, I think he won because he was able to do this or that, or had more control in the match at this point, at that point, and I think it could, in the long run, make professional wrestling more analytical and technical and being seen in a different light. So I know I'm going on.
No, hell no, you're absolutely right
here.
You're right.
But I really look forward to a new aspect of professional wrestling that we've never ever seen before.
Definitely, Mr. Steamboat, you agree?
I think not only do I agree, but I think the other big thing is this is really going to elevate wrestling as a sport. Like everything that purists like Cornette and the old and Dr. Tom Pritchard and guys like them, this is going to bring all the people that want wrestling to be a shoot again. This is really the best way to go about it, not by secrets and forcing people to hate each other and all that stuff. It's really coming back to the in-ring stuff itself, the in-ring stuff and how they present that particularly.
Definitely, because even Cornette praises it. I mean, Cornette been praising it lately. He's like, damn, I love this fucking shit. He's been watching it, so he's actually on it. Him and Brian Last are really on it, and I'm glad they're giving kudos to Ring of Honor. And obviously, Cornette would say, I've been trying to do this type of shit, motherfuckers. But, I mean, sorry, Corny. I mean, they got it on point. Whoever this, St. Clair's is not doing bad with this promotion, and I'm looking forward for Ring of Honor wants to open the doors to the crowd and continue to do these type of matches in the near future, how Mike said, and it should go all over the world of professional wrestling. They should consider to do that, at least for main events,
right.
A title main event or like a mid-contender, like an Intercontinental or like anything. So that will make a lot of sense.
We already see time limits in AEW, so it could easily transition to something like that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. If AEW could go ahead and kind of steal that idea, I mean, I don't think Ring of Honor would mind anyways. I mean, fucking, why not? It's in every sport, Why not? It can have it on another territory. I would definitely.
It wouldn't really be stealing it because, maybe one time, wrestling was more like this with the time limits and the very strict rules because it's purely grappling. Boxing is boxing, wrestling is wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
This is where you're differentiating because it's like if traveling was allowed in basketball and then basketball started looking more like football.
It'll look like fucking rugby. That's what it looked like.
Exactly. That's kind of what you do when you kind of change those rules. So it's You know, that's a special thing. Tournaments elevate titles, and tournaments elevate titles, and then strict rules and regulations also elevate the title. The harder it is to get to that title, the more value kind of it has. Especially so that this is where I could see like this type of wrestling in the Olympics and stuff like that. So.
Oh, hell yeah, definitely. I mean, right now, obviously, AEW already has that first inch, that first step, which is adding the power rankings toward it, for the rankings for the individuals and tag team. Now, implementing that in matches will be fucking great, and then that would elevate the rankings more differently. Exactly.
I think you guys are on to something. Maybe some wrestling promotion should come along and combine both of these ideas.
You thinking what I'm thinking?
I'm thinking what you're thinking. You know what I'm thinking.
You guys thinking what I'm thinking?
I know what you're thinking. You think what I'm thinking.
Thinking what I'm thinking. Then I'm thinking that. There we go.
That's right. Tony Khan, give us a call, man. We can help you out. Habla español. Habla español.
There you go.
And also, I mean, Japanese too. We got Matt. He speaks Japanese.
Yeah. Only a little bit.
And German.
Oh, that's right. Guten Tag.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Aha, sprechen Sie Deutsch? Ah, yeah.
Parlez-vous français?
That's good. And oui, oui. Okay, and moving on with that. Also, before we move on, my apologies. Also, don't forget the last final rounds are coming up this weekend, ladies and gentlemen, which will be on Saturday, October 3rd, which is the final two of the ROH Pure Title Tournament. The last two, matches for the first round, which is going to be, we're going to have Tracy Williams versus Russ Taylor and PJ Black versus Tony Deppen, and that will happen on Saturday, October the 3rd. So stay tuned for ROH on their YouTube channel and watch them on Fight TV and any other social media platforms you can watch the tournament. And stay tuned. We'll give you updates of next week's the results of it and the next following second round matches. So stay tuned for that. Moving on, and speaking of tournaments, let's go ahead and talk about the New Japan G1 Climax 30, day 5 to day 8. Fucking incredible matches, man. I feel like a fucking kid all over again watching these badass professional wrestlers putting their fucking bodies on the line, facing, until like one day to the other day, to the other day, to the other day. Like, Jesus, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4 fucking nights. Incredible. So let's go ahead and actually give the results. For day 5, we got the Block A. We had Taichi beating Yujiro. We had Suzuki beating Jeff Cobb. Ibushi beating Tomohiro. Shingo beating Ospreay. Now, that one, I did not expect that one. And Jay White beating Okada, always obviously expected. That's Block A, ladies and gentlemen. Block B, which is day 6, we had Yoshihashi beating Sonata. Oh, my boy Sonata, man, why? And Kenta beating Zack Sabre Jr. Tanahashi beating Juice Robinson. Toru Yano. Now, what the fuck is going on here? Toru Yano beating Evil? What's up with that? You beat Evil, Toru Yano? And also we had Naito beating Goto. That was day 6. Now, day 7, we had Suzuki beating Yujiro. Ibushi beating Cobb. Okada beating Taichi. It should have been Taichi, by the way. He should have won that match. Then Ospreay beating Jay White. That was a great match. My favorite match out of this one by far. And Tomohiro finally getting his first win against Shingo. So, I'm sorry, Ishii, but your time's done, buddy. Then, obviously, we had night 8, which happened, obviously, 24 hours ago. We had Juice Robinson finally giving the first loss to Toru Yano. We had Zack Sabre beating Goto. Tanahashi beating Yoshihashi. Evil beating Kenta. And that was surprising. He beat Kenta. That was a great match, too. 2 Bullet Club members going at it with each other. Great match. And, obviously, this is the one that pissed me the fuck off. You give Sonata the win against Naito. Give him a damn belt. What the fuck are you waiting for? You're killing my boy Sonata. You gave Sonata the win against Naito, the champion, really? The LIJ members, and Sonata won his first win in the tournament? The fuck? He should be up there. But let's go ahead and give you the results by far, ladies and gentlemen. So we have point leaders of Block A. We had Taichi with 6. Jay White with 6, Ospreay with 6, Suzuki and Ibushi with 6 points. The runner-up is Okada with 4. And Block B, we have Naito with 6, Toru Yano with 6, Juice Robinson with 6 points. And the runner-ups, we got Zack Sabre, Kenta, Evil, Tanahashi with 4 points. So, Matt, what are your thoughts about day 5 to day 8? And what by far? How are you loving it? Which one what's your favorite one by far right now as we speak?
So far, there's so many, so far, like Jay White versus Will Ospreay was probably my favorite so far because that's a continuation of their feud. And the crazy thing is, like, the last time Jay White and Will Ospreay fought, Will Ospreay was a little bit smaller than Jay White body-wise. Now the tables have turned. Ospreay's bigger than Jay White. Like, it's so rare. It's so rare in wrestling. You don't see it that often. Like the year before, one guy's bigger than the other, and then the year after, it's the opposite. It's like an arms race of muscles. Like it's like, imagine if like Hulk Hogan was bigger than Andre one year, and then the next year Hulk Hogan, Andre's bigger than Hulk Hogan. Then they just keep changing sizes year after year. That's one of those things, and those two work so well together. Britannians is how I call anybody from the British territory, British colonies.
British strong style. And
British strong style.
Jay White has the best Uranagi out of all time. Fucking incredible. I love it how he did it on Will Ospreay, man. That match was phenomenal. I even enjoyed Ibushi Jeff Cobb. That was not a bad match either. There was a lot of great matches on these nights. I mean, it's all of them are. So far, it's going great. The only thing I'm pissed, you're giving Yano the fucking lead over Sonata. Look, Bushy Road, I love you guys, but you're fucking up. Where is my boy Sonata up there?
Year. They're gonna put that in for comic relief, and I think that was the same deal with like Bad Luck Fale. He was a little
bit, yes. Why?
Like Bad Luck Fale and Yano,
I know, but we'll find out. Stay tuned. More, ladies and gentlemen. We'll give you more updates of the next upcoming from day 9 to day 12. We'll give you more updates in regards for that next week.
Ibushi versus Suzuki.
Ibushi
versus Suzuki.
Ibushi. That's gonna be a good one. I'm looking forward to seeing that. But heck, we'll see what's gonna happen.
Those two haven't faced each other one-on-one yet.
No, only in tag team, but never one-on-one.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting to see. I think Suzuki – I'm telling you, I'm saying it right now, and I said it in the archives. Tai Chi is the one who's going to come out of nowhere. He's going to fucking win this tournament. Tai Chi's
He's looking pretty good so far. Oh, the other big one, Kenta versus Evil. That was my other big favorite because one thing that I didn't cover on this, because some people were saying this on Twitter, is that Jay White and Evil, they don't see those two really coexisting. Some of them were saying that they foresee a Bullet Club civil war between, Gaijin Bullet Club, which are foreigners, Gaijin means foreigners, or Japanese Bullet Club. But the storyline I see that I already predicted this storyline on Twitter. I was seeing, because of Naito had his match with Kenta, where Kenta kind of showed respect for Naito after Naito defeated him and Naito was bleeding. Kenta was... it's like this mutual respect of after going on one-on-one battle with somebody. So I could see Kenta turning babyface through this, and they already teased it. They actually teased it because Dick Togo and Evil weren't giving him the too sweet, and they were just like Dick Togo and Evil were like bullying Kenta in that match, and Kenta was looking pretty good throughout. But Evil went over Kenta, but that rift is already there. It's even more obvious than the Kenny Omega, Adam Page, division. This
Maybe
is more.
It might. Yeah, I agree. It might be a civil war between Bullet Club, Japanese versus the foreigners. But I don't know. Kenta's a babyface, not in Japan. I think he's better off being a heel. He fits him.
Maybe like heel that's not sided with. Maybe there's gonna be. We'll still see that separation of Bullet Club.
Yeah.
Like despite because the first tear, the paper has already begun to tear.
Yeah.
It's just gonna keep tearing.
I mean, the only one who keeps it in place will be obviously. I mean, who else can keep it in place? That's Tamatonga. Tamatonga keep that in place. I think Tamatonga should have, even though he doesn't like to be named the leader of the faction for Bullet Club, but he should be the main one. Obviously, he's the one that is one of the original with Finn Balor. Why not have him take over? Fuck it. He's like, no, bring them together. And I think like Eddie Kingston is with Lucha Bros and Butcher and Blade, and Tamatonga has the fucking he's the the mouth for the Bullet Club. So
I'll make a big prediction right here.
Mm-hmm.
There's the before the end of the year, before the end of this year, we're gonna see at least 2 or 3 people leave Bullet Club. Like by force too.
I wonder who.
Yeah, either leave Bullet Club or just create, or another faction of Bullet Club is going to end up being made, and they're not going to be aligned.
That's true. What or they make their own Bullet Club red and black, and Bullet Club white and black.
There we go.
You never know. You might
heard it here first.
You heard it here first. They should have been first.
There we go.
All right, let's move on with the Wednesday Night Wars, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and move on with NXT. Obviously, great opening match between Shotzi Blackheart versus Dakota Kai. Great opening match. Shotzi pick him up to win because of Rhea Ripley's interference against, Raquel. So, I mean, which we're looking forward to seeing that match again with them pretty soon. So, I mean, by far, I'm loving how Shotzi's looking. I'm hoping they push her in the near future, how we just discussed previously in the archives. And hopefully we'll see a lot more of Shotzi and get a championship shot. I mean, they didn't give her that shot against Io. There was a non-title, but it was a great match. And Shotzi's really, man, you just see that, sliced bread on a ring apron. Like, whoa. I was like, Shotzi, man, she got the moves, man. And she's a Filipino native, I know you're rooting for her, right, Matt? I'm pretty sure you're.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of funny because this is it's like a match between the nation my parents are from and the nation I kind of wish I could move to, New Zealand. So I'm a big New Zealand guy altogether. It's like on my top 3 favorite countries ever, along with Japan and Switzerland. Even your doggy agrees.
Yeah. He agrees. Mr. Hero, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Shotzi seems to be the future of the women's division. In my opinion, she has the look, she has the ability in the ring. Yeah, I mean, I would set her up for a title shot, no problem. I think I don't know. I haven't really seen. I don't get that championship momentum from Io Shirai. I don't know. It's just me. But maybe Shotzi, I feel she has some momentum going in, and who knows? Maybe she could get the title soon.
Definitely. I mean, we have to wait and see on that, and hopefully she gets it very soon. Maybe by the next takeover. Well, not this one coming up this Sunday, but in a future takeover, hopefully someday. I really wanted Mia Yim honestly to take it, but I mean, she's gone now. She's a fucking stupid group named fucking Retribution. I don't even want to talk about Retribution.
Just come back to NXT.
Just go back to NXT, Mia. Mia, we love you. Go back to NXT. Please.
Burn the mask. Come back.
Don't be T-Bar and Mace, and don't be Wreck, or don't be whatever the fuck your new name will be. Jesus Christ. But moving on with that, we're still seeing these vignettes of this mystery person. We said it last week. We called it out. We said it on our last week on the episode. Bo Dallas, and I still feel it's going to be Bo Dallas. Yeah, any change in mind, gentlemen? Do you still keep it? Do you still feel Bo Dallas?
I still believe that it's going to be Bo Dallas. And I mean, we'll see. I mean, I don't think that he's gonna bring the Believe stuff anymore, if it's him. But it's interesting. Night vision goggles is the second time we see night vision in a week here in WWE, and sure. I mean, I'm along for the ride. I hope it's Bo. I really do. I think he's kind of gotten the short end of the stick. So hopefully, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think this could be his redemption to redeem his character and be a badass heel and be an aggressive one too. I mean, I would have loved for him and Bray to, him being a part of the Wyatt, the Wyatt family at the time. I mean, right now it's difficult to be, Bray Wyatt's, partner at this point. Wyatt's better off singles. I don't think with.
I'd rather see them go at it.
That would be great too. I have not seen that at all yet. What's up with that? How come we haven't seen that? That would have been great. It would have been Believers. Right. But yeah, definitely. And then also we have the main event, which was the Garganos in an intergender tag match versus the North American champion Damian Priest and the NXT Women's Champion Io Shirai. Obviously, Candice with the low blow on Damian Priest. Obviously, they pick up the win. But it was a great match overall. I think I love the entrance, by the way. If you saw the Damian Priest entrance, and then he did the arrow, and then Io Shirai's theme song hit. They come out like and they run into the ring. Great entrance. I liked it. That was a great combo. Not bad. What are your thoughts, Mr. Hero?
I agree. There's sometimes a hit or miss when two entrances can be combined, and I like this one for sure. Let's see. I like that they're giving momentum to Damian Priest. I think that what they're doing with him is pretty good. Who's he facing at Takeover? Gargano. Okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah. So I expect Damian Priest to retain. So yeah,
definitely, Mr. Steamboat.
This is like where they're elevate once again. What you just told me about Gargano facing Damian Priest, they elevate the mid-card titles by having former champions challenge for them. Having former world champions challenge for them. That's how you elevate those mid-card titles. And I like seeing that. And intergender matches are pretty fun to watch. It's a interesting. Here's something that I actually just saw on Twitter. Slightly off subject, but what's her name? The Pikachu girl from AEW who left.
Kylie Ray.
Kylie Ray, yeah. It's Kylie Ray versus Alex Shelley is going to be the match from the Motor City Machine Guns. That's and I'm pretty fascinated in that. I'm thinking it's pretty interesting. So, intergender matches are very, very fascinating to me. Not, I don't have any strong feelings, negative or positive. I'm just very fascinated by them. Like here in nature, we're seeing this wrestling match between a man and a woman here on National Geographic.
I wouldn't mind seeing more intergender matches, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on with NXT. Let's go ahead and move on with Dynamite. Great opening match. I think this was like one of my favorite great opening matches between Ricky Starks and Darby Allin. That was a hell of a match. And I like how Ricky is looking great right now as we speak. He's really looking great. Darby as well, looking phenomenal. So I'll ask your thoughts, Mr. Hero. What are your thoughts about the great opening match? You enjoyed it?
I overall, in the bigger scope of things, as far as rivalries and everything, I find it interesting that for the past few weeks, we've seen kind of this feud between Darby and Team Taz, right? It's been kind of coming up, and we see, one-on-one Ricky Starks versus Darby Allin on Dynamite. Not necessarily a pay-per-view, clean finish, and there you go. I don't think that, I like this, that AEW is doing, that they're not milking their rivalries until we don't want to see them anymore. I do believe that maybe they'll have another match, but after that they'll go on and do other things with other wrestlers, other feuds. So overall, definitely the match. I'm a Darby Allin fan, and this guy brings it, and he just every time I see the coffin drop, I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't be able to just launch myself with no arms to support me or anything. So I always enjoy him seeing that move or doing that move. But yeah, both guys are young. It's the future of AEW. Future looks bright.
Definitely. I agree 100%. And also for Ricky Starks, his future looks bright as well. I'm glad he found a promotion that, even though he was from NWA, but I'm glad he found somewhere that he's comfortable, and I like that he's giving a lot of creative freedom. And he's really impressing me week by week. His charisma, his in-ring abilities, and his promos are improving. It's catching my attention. So I'm hoping the best for Ricky Starks in AEW. Could be a future TNT champion soon. So, you never know. Yeah, and Mr. Steve, your thoughts about the opening match?
Very, we've seen Darby Allin have that great match with Sammy Guevara before, and I caught some of this match, and I definitely caught the end because it's that coffin drop. It's like a frog splash, but it's back to the front. It's your back landing on somebody's front straight up and back to back. Like that. The very powerful finisher. When you think about somebody's back landing on your front. So there you go.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right, and then also we had the Cody segment. Obviously, Cody, what he's accepting the challenge or not. He's like, no, and then he walks away, walks back, no regrets. And he took the challenge, and then Brody Lee came out, and then all this big brawl. Like, what? I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Everybody's face beating each other up, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I mean, I'm looking forward for that match too myself. So I mean. How do you like the storyline so far, Mr. Hero? You think it's going? What do you think? Like with Cody Lee and Brody Lee, what do you think so far?
It really comes down to this next match. I do feel that the segment was a little borderline goofy, especially the Brandy part where she took.
There we go.
I'm
glad you pointed that out. It's like Brandy's
the entire Dark Order
that too. Brandy's like, I have to be in there too. You need to pay for my storyline also.
Yeah, and honestly, I like the Anna Jay and Brandy kind of rivalry going on, but I think it almost jumped the shark, so to speak, with Brandy taking out the Dark Order. She's not that heavy. I'm pretty sure Silver could have held her up on his own. So maybe we'll get an explanation on being the elite or something. But yeah, as far as Cody and Brody Lee, I mean, we'll see, man. AEW has delivered some pretty awesome matches, and I am optimistic with this match, and I hope that they knock it out of the park.
Definitely, 100% agreed. Mr. Steamboat.
For really like aggressive and violent rivalries, you need special matches like this to kind of like punctuate the storyline. So it's look, harkening back to I think one of the great things about AEW is that they do reference a lot of stuff from the past like 30-40 years, and I think the main match that you're gonna have to see homages to, references for, is Roddy Piper versus Greg the Hammer Valentine in their dog collar match, because that was very brutal and very real and very painful. And, I was going to say they're both looking up from heaven, but I looked up. Greg the Hammer Valentine is definitely still very much alive.
Yes, he is.
So, Greg, Mr. Valentine, if you're watching this, so much love to you, Mr. Greg the Hammer Valentine, for pioneering such an amazing match. And they even posted another link, Perry Saturn versus Chris Jericho in a dog collar match. Somebody posted that, and we don't see them as often. In fact, I've probably seen leather strap matches more often than dog collar matches. And dog collar matches, that's a weapon that's in there with you. That's hooked to you. It's like that fight where they tie the guy's wrists together and then they have a knife fight or something like that. It's kind of like that kind of thing. But the wrestling equivalent of that.
Right.
Dog collar match.
Can't wait to see it. I'm looking forward for that. I'm really looking forward. Then we had obviously
not lack on the brutality, knowing Cody.
I don't think they are. They're really gonna put a good storytelling match in this one. And I think it's gonna come down. I'm gonna say it right now. I think it's gonna come down to Cody taking it back. And I think he's going to do it in a very, very, the battle of, the battle of Olympus, or I don't know. I can't really compare it to anything, but it's going to be like a big-ass war, and then between the Nightmare family and the Dark Order, and it's going to be Cody barely winning that match. Like, he's going to struggle to – I don't know how the rules are yet, so I don't know how we don't know yet. But however he's going to win, I think It's going to look very drastic, very dramatic. I think Cody would have the upset and get the title back. So we'll wait to see. Definitely, we'll wait to see. Moving on, let's go ahead and move on. We saw that Young Bucks super kick on Tony Schiavone. I'm like, wow, damn. Oh, my God. Because they need to stop with this tease already, man. What? Help me out here, gentlemen. We've been saying it for the last couple of previous episodes. They need to stop with that tease. They need to make that match happen now. It's got to happen at Full Gear. Make the Bucks versus FTR already. This type of – I'm not liking this storyline, to be honest. And I'm a Young Bucks fan. I love it. I've seen it on BTE and all that. I'm not liking this at all. It's like you're really making the Young Bucks look like bitches. Seriously. I mean, if that's what you're aiming for, you're doing a great job. I'm not saying you're not doing a bad job. Great job. But you're not giving the people what they want. Give them FTR Young Bucks. Make it happen already. Just say it already. Why are you giving these teases? So, Mr. Hero, what are your thoughts? Do you agree with that, or how do you feel about it?
Yeah, it's definitely not one of the more memorable storylines going on right now. I can't even keep track of what's happening. Yeah, I can't tell you what happened 2 weeks ago in this storyline. They're kicking people, right? And pretty much that's it. Yeah, this match needs to happen. They need to get the ball rolling. There is live people there to see this, and like I said a few weeks ago or a couple weeks ago, I don't know, that to those people, limited audience that are going to be able to witness this match, I feel it's going to be even a more special thing because you'll be able to say, I saw FTR versus the Young Bucks, their first match. Only a few select people will get to say that, but if they were waiting for an audience, it's there. They have it in Daly's place, and go for it. Make it happen.
Yeah, definitely.
That's it.
Yeah, Mr. Simo, do you feel the same?
So I think one of the main things to take away is, I think one of the ways they could go about this is, they're right now they're kind of stalling for time to give attention to the other tag teams and FTR to let them do their little rivalries with them until Full Gear comes along. But I guess once we get closer to Full Gear, I think one of the obvious things that the Young Bucks are going to have to do before they attack FTR directly is that they're going to have to attack FTR's allies. So they have to kidnap Tully Blanchard or something like that, or kick him in the face, or do something with them. Hold his wife for ransom. They're gonna do something. They're gonna do something that's kind of out there. Maybe set their truck on fire because Tony Khan's got the money. Like the Young Bucks are going to pour gasoline on it. They're going to do something's going to happen to mark my words. They're going to do something special to kind of make this rivalry memorable. I don't know. Somebody's going to they're not going to go the route where they're going to take FTR's clothes and they're going to be butt naked. That seems like
of course not. We're not
going to see WWE thing.
You will never see that. I think this is going to come to the point that Tony Khan's going to get fed up of fighting them. He's like, you know what? Fuck it. You guys are fighting FTR at Full Gear, whether you like it or not. If not, you're suspended. If not, or you're fired. Some type of stipulation. If they don't accept it,
it'll come to that. Something
like is being by force now.
It's got to get more and more violent as the time gets closer to Full Gear. So
definitely, I agree 100% on that. Well, moving on, though, speaking of FTR, they defended the tag team belts against SU. No Christopher Daniels, only Kazarian and Scorpio Sky. Great match. I enjoyed that 100%. Obviously, FTR with the win, thanks to Tony Blanchard with the little very sneaky with the sneakiness, holding the foot down and the 1, 2, 3. I mean, shit. Mr. Hero, I ask you, what are your thoughts so far of FTR's build-up? And how you were explaining earlier about them Young Bucks, and how do you like this tag team division looking so far? How do you love it?
Yeah, I mean, what's to say about the tag team division? Oh, I thought it was mute. No, I mean, I enjoy the tag team. I feel like anytime I see a tag team match that's going to happen, I know I'm in for a ride. I know I'm in for a great match, and odds are it's going to be an awesome contest. I did find interesting though that little moment that that Sean Spears wished good luck to SCU, you know, and I actually have been waiting for, like, you know, the building of the four horsemen, you know, to happen, and I do think that Sean Spears will probably be involved, since Tully is in there, you know, in I think the tag team division. I don't know. I want more from FTR, and if it takes that Young Bucks match to happen, then, you know, make it, then do it. I feel like everything's on hold until that match happens.
Yeah, I agree. Mr. Steamboat, your thoughts?
So we got to see a really great match, like on Wednesday night between like the SCU champions, you know, because we saw Daniels and Kazarian versus FTR, and that was really, you know,
That was a really good match, by the way.
very, very amazing, like a clinic for tag teams. And then we got to see this one tonight, which was also pretty awesome. But I think next week we're going to see a match that I've actually been waiting to see, because I see TH2, the Hybrid 2, more as the complete opposites of FTR in almost every way than the Lucha Brothers or the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
They're probably high flying like 80% of the time, the most like air based team. And in addition to that, like TH2 are a lot longer veterans than most people know them to be, you know. And AAA, like they were very, like, I'm only discovering more and more about them, like just how long Jack Evans and Helico have been around.
Oh, they've been around in AAA for a cool minute. They did wrestle in C and CML before, and they were part of Lucha Underground at the time too. And those guys, I love them. They're really veterans, high-flying veterans, and it's very unique, very different style, like how you said. Imagine them versus FTR. Yeah, it's a whole different style.
That is next week, and ooh, pumped up for it.
That definitely, that's on my.
That's the match. That's actually the match that I wanted to be like the perfect in between rivalry between Omega and Page and Young Bucks is TH2 versus, you know, FTR.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to that. So let's move on with that. Let's move on with Jericho versus Isaiah Cassidy from Private Party. So that was a good match too. I enjoyed it. It was Jericho. I'm loving Jericho right now because he's really building these upcoming stars, and also I cannot wait for him to be a part of the tag team division, which he is now. Can't wait for him to get a title shot, you know, with him and Jake Hager. And then what tripped me the hell out was, you know, he beat he was getting in a fight with, I forgot, was it Luther and then Serpentico, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? And like it was hilarious for me, that part. Even the aftermath of the match when Jericho won. So I mean, how do you like it too, Mr. Hero? You like seeing this by Jericho so far? Like what's he doing with younger talent and helping them out to develop their character, and him being part of that tag team division now as well with Hager. So what do you look forward to seeing? You know,
I have my doubts that they'll get the tag team titles with him and Hager. I think that ultimately the goal is to, you know, promote the younger guys and elevate them, right? He's a master at that, I feel. And, you know, there's a lot of great matchups waiting for him and Hager down the line. And as far as the Luther and Serpentico thing, it did feel like it kind of came out of nowhere. But I think Excalibur mentioned that Luther was one of his earliest rivalries for Jericho. And, you know, I guess it's kind of like maybe Jericho requested, hey, you know, it's my 30-year anniversary. I would like to have this match with Luther and you know, and Serpentico as well. So, you know, I think that's where that comes from. And, you know, and yeah, I mean, I would do that too if I was 30 years into the business and, hey, you know, I want to have one more match with my old rival. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so sounds good.
Hell yeah, definitely. I agree. Steve, your feelings?
It's Jericho's always been a tag team specialist for like longest period of time. Like you think all the way back to when he was with the Thrill Seekers with Lance Storm, and along with his team with Chris Benoit, because that was that was a very special tag team, I'd say, in back during WWF days.
I love it.
So Jericho has probably like so much insight on tag team wrestling that I'm actually very confident that the Jake Hager Chris Jericho tag team will do really well. And let's not forget, they're both, former WWE champions in that tag team. So this is going to be a very, very interesting, especially that one's kind of like a medium-sized flyer / submission guy but you've also got like a power guy on that team. So
oh yeah.
So just to see where that heads, and then I'm pretty sure this Matt Hardy rivalry is gonna kind of continue on a little bit too, because there's a lot of history there as well.
Definitely, 100% agreed. And what I like about it, how you said, like, you get the big tough guy. It's like it kind of reminds me kind of like a high school story, the cool kids. It's more like the cool kids. Jericho is the main one out of the faction, being the cool
captain of the football team.
Captain of the football team. Like, get him, Skyler, go get him. Like a big old, like, I'm not disrespecting Hager like that, but you know what? I'm just saying characterization wise. But definitely, yeah. And then I love it. I love how Jericho's doing that for every upcoming star. I'm loving the fact that he's working with these younger talents and helping them develop their characters. How he helped out with Orange Cassidy, and I love it how it's getting there. Like it's little by little with everybody in individuals. So we'll see how that tag team division, and if he is going to face Luther and his 30th anniversary, I'm looking forward to seeing that myself too. I cannot wait for that to that's two heels going at it with each other. I think Jericho's going to beat the shit out of him. Luther, I'm sorry. I mean, he's not a. I know about his work. I'm a big fan. Not really. Nah. Well, due respect to him, I'm not disrespecting. But everybody has some opinions about it. It's an opinion, all right. It's not a fact. We're not fucking Meltzer or anybody else. Opinions. We don't have sources. We're the fans. But moving on with that. Speaking of Orange, obviously we saw Orange face one of the members of the Dark Order, and great match too. Love it. I'm loving I'm gonna say it right now, and I hate. And Mike might agree with me on this. I'm now becoming a fan of the Dark Order. I love their BTE fucking segments. I'm becoming a big fan of them now. I'm fucking falling in love with Dark Order, man. I hate to say it, but they're catching on to me. So your thoughts, Mr. Hero, Dark Order, Orange. What are your thoughts about the match? And I'm pretty sure they're catching on to you as well, right? Dark Order.
I forgot what happened in that match. I know I saw it, but I forgot the finish.
I forgot to finish too. Matt, did you see that match or no?
Dark Order and
I caught some of it. One thing I'll definitely say about the Dark Order, I'm thinking they're learning a lot from Colt Cabana, especially since they have somebody like Colt Cabana in their faction. Colt Cabana is a former NWA World Heavyweight Champion, and he really knows how to make just about anything work to his advantage since he's been an independent wrestler for so long. So say you're given a gimmick that you don't like or that doesn't work, and you have somebody like Colt Cabana in the mix giving you creative advice. So Colt Cabana's working his magic. It's like, how do we make this fun for everybody? How do we make this enjoyable for them to watch? So Colt Cabana is just feeding them ideas on just how to make what started off as a bad idea into something, magical and fun. Because, he's, it's that indie make any, makeshift, or like that MacGyver mentality where you're given random things and you make it work somehow, and that's in Colt Cabana's wheelhouse, I mean, Colt Cabana worked with Pro Wrestling Tees as well. Like he was, he's very involved with them. I'm guessing like I think he gave the tour of their factory, of the shop in Chicago. So it's that mindset, that DIY mindset that Colt Cabana is lighting a fire under all the newbies in Dark Order. I mean, given like Brody Lee's a very experienced guy, and all of them have their indie experience, but Colt Cabana is like the indie, godfather, more or less.
Yeah, agreed. But he's more of an indie godfather in the East Coast, though.
Yeah.
That's just me.
For me, like you mentioned, BTE behind being the elite. The Dark Order segments just have me laughing like nothing else in wrestling. It's been a while, man, since I really laughed out loud in watching something wrestling related. I feel like the WWE stuff is kind of like when their attempts at humor are kind of corny most of the time, but seeing this, it's just they knock it out of the park every time, and I very much have become a Dark Order fan, and call me 12 because I'll be in there too.
I mean, they got Colt Cabana joined. It's like
fucking call me 13, man. 13, 1, 3. Fucking yeah, you got me on, man. Call me 13, 13.
I think that's what we got to introduce you as from now on, Mike. I'm Kenny Omega's boyfriend, and you're number 12, number 13. Like, you're number 12, and Ivan's number 13.
Oh, my God. I'm sorry. I'm falling in love with fucking Dark Order. I love it. I just love it. I love it, especially... Come on, you wouldn't love the fact that you have Brody Lee screaming in your face, "Who the fuck wrote this shit? God damn it!" How did they go? Him going up.
I think
hilarious, man.
It's hilarious.
I think the funniest moment, actually, I'm not sure if it was like unintentionally funny or intentionally funny or not, but like Brody was giving a promo after his match, and it was like an anti-Brandy promo or anti-Cody promo, and he's like, who would let his own wife post thirst traps on Instagram? I'm like, and Brody's saying that with a straight face, and I was like cracking up, like, thirst traps. Like they're talking about like a serious dark evil factions talking about Instagram thirst traps.
I fucking love it.
And Brody does it with a straight face. That's why it works.
It works.
It fucking works.
Exalted one.
Exalted one.
We're not worthy.
We're not worthy, Exalted one.
There you go.
We are. Sorry, Corny. I know that you hate Dark Order, but I'm loving him.
He called Brody Lee like the personality of an eggplant, and they drew a picture of his head as an eggplant. And now I'm thinking they should actually go with, once again, Colt Cabana's creative genius. They should actually just go with that and have like Brody Lee come out with like an eggplant, because they have like an eggplant plushie head hat thing that you could wear. That's like really popular in Japan and Korea, to wear an eggplant head. So definitely Brody should wear that eggplant head on like a BTE episode or something. Like, I'm the eggplant. You hear me? You have to call me that. I'm the exalted eggplant.
I have to say my favorite one BTE part was when they were singing the Cody Rhodes theme song, and then Brody comes. What are you guys doing? What are you singing? We're singing a fucking song. We're singing your theme song.
Oh my goodness!
That's Exalted one. I'm like, oh my God. I fucking love it.
Dark Order.
I love it, man. They're winning me over, man.
Yeah. I think they should have their own show, Being the Dark Order. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it.
They should, but I love it how they have it like this, because it's so unexpected. That's what I love about it. Very unexpected. But so far, the best one is the Cody Rhodes theme song. I can't believe it. How they try to make up shit.
No, for me, my favorite is in the Sue episode, where they were looking for cake throughout the episode, or like a dessert, and Trent's mom showed up and she brought cake. And then Brody Lee just so quickly just grabs it and just slams it to the floor and just starts saying some words, and I don't know. I did not see that coming. I was just laughing, man. It's insane.
I have to see that again. I have to see it. I love it so.
Brody Lee, was it called deadpan? It's like deadpan because he's the straight guy for the For out of straight man the goofballs. It's kind of how it is. Manzai comedy.
I love it, man. I fucking enjoy it, especially with Evo Uno. Like how everybody. John Silver is winning me over, man. That guy, fuck, it's hilarious. But moving on with that, ladies and gentlemen, with the main event, we saw obviously Eddie Kingston coming out, Moxley coming out, waiting for his opponent. Who's it gonna be? It turns out, Eddie Kingston chose his boy Butcher to face Moxley. Great match, by the way. Heavy hitting match. Fuck. Moxley's been winning lately with submissions. What's going on? But he made him pass out. Obviously, we saw the aftermath. Where do you see this? I mean, now we're seeing Moxley and Eddie Kingston rivalry. Obviously we are aware there's going to be a triple threat match when Archer's back from quarantine, once he's back to normal. So I have a feeling we might see Kingston walk away with a belt, man. I don't know. Something's giving me a tease. I hate to say that. I know, right? You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. So I don't know, Mr. Hero. You tell me about this rivalry so far with Eddie Kingston and his homeboys. I mean, you tell me what's your thoughts.
So you're saying that you think Eddie Kingston could walk away with the AEW championship?
Sneaky wise.
Wow.
If it's a triple threat match, if they move forward with it, if Archer's good by then and is able to compete, he might sneak in this match. He might sneak in with a win. What about if they have the same rules like WWE? The champion doesn't have to be pinned. You never know.
Right.
I mean,
one would expect, from a triple threat match, right?
Exactly.
But, okay. That added another layer of interest for me. Not that I was not interested at all. I am, I would have liked, however, leading up to this, for them to at least have Jake the Snake do some promos or like some vignettes of Archer's waiting or something like that. He does a masterful job of doing promos.
Yes.
So I think Jake the Snake, even on his own, could keep that going, keep Archer in our minds. Because right now it seems like Kingston and versus Moxley sort of thing.
Yeah.
Well, even for obvious reasons, right? But yeah. I mean, let's go with it, right? Kingston wins the title, holds it up high, delivers an awesome promo. I mean, he made those gummy worms sound great.
The Sour Patches.
The Sour Patches. He made those sound great. Just imagine the world title. I can definitely see him doing something great with that. Yeah.
That'll be definitely an underdog right there, and an unexpected, turnout of event to see someone who just got in the picture because he said, "Look up the rules. I won that battle royal." And that I'm glad how AEW is taking that, even though understanding that your other person has the pandemic situation, and then turning it around and using this storyline. That fits perfect. I love how they're doing it.
It's much better than Axelmania. You guys remember that?
Hey, man, he's taking away your gimmick, man. He's taking away the great American hero. All right? You're the one with the 12-inch pythons, not him.
That's right.
That's right.
So I gotta say, for Eddie Kingston, like the same thing for MJF. Anytime you put the title on a really great talker, you never go wrong. And if anything, what you said, Mike, I think that's actually probably the best angle to go about it, especially since Moxley and Eddie Kingston have such a history. Like Eddie Kingston even has a history with Kevin Owens as well.
Yep.
Kevin Steen in Ring of Honor. So we look back on Eddie Kingston's history. He already earned this belt, in my opinion. With his long career, that he's definitely more than worthy of this title. Lance Archer as well, but how I would go about it is Eddie comes away with the win out of that triple threat match, and then maybe his first title defense is was against Lance Archer because he's feeling like a sore loser and he wants one-on-one with Eddie, and then we could do a cool heel versus heel turning babyface kind of thing. and then maybe like Penta L0, Pentagon Jr. could, you know, get involved, could interfere, and that could lead to like the next match, Pentagon versus Lance Archer, and then, you know, and Eddie could go off on his run, like could be off to the races, you know, hit the ground running with his run as the champion. Because right now Moxley's held the title longer than Jericho at this moment. He's had a lot more days at this point. So
agreed.
Right now it's about like the pair is ripe for the picking.
Absolutely. I mean, you're right on point, Mr. Kellerman. Finally. But yes, I absolutely agree that it should be that's why I said it'd be unexpected for Eddie Kingston to win it. And right now how they're making this storyline look, I would go with it. Why, if I was Tony Khan, fuck it, give him the belt. Even though it sucks that it wasn't MJF, but obviously because it was so, I guess we could say it was predictable. Everybody thought that MJF, okay, yeah, he's the future, yes, makes good points. I mean, Mike said it on the previous episodes, makes valid points, but was it too soon? I believe it was too soon. I think it's not yet for MJF.
This is the other thing I'm hoping for, since you brought up MJF. Maybe within the next 5 or 6 months, because this is what I wanted to see with like Tama Tonga versus MJF. But now that I discovered Eddie Kingston, this is that rich boy heel versus that street, you know, thug, you know, gangster heel. You know, rich boy, spoiled brat heel versus, you know, street heel, you know, and we get to see those two like cut promos on each other, and that will be kind of like, that's going to be gold. That's going to be, you know, give me that for like months on end, you know, if I could. But, you know, that just getting a taste of something like that, you know, it's like, you don't understand anything. You the silver spoon, you're a kid, you come from the money, you haven't seen what I've seen. I've seen blood, I've seen, you know, and then MJF's like, I don't need to see blood. I don't need any of that. You're not even on my level, you know. And then we could just, it'll be that like back and forth, you know.
That's good fucking shit.
Are you guys hearing the phone ring?
I think, hold on. I think my
here
phone
we
is
go.
vibrating.
You guys hear it?
Message. Hold on. Tony?
Is it Tony or Vince?
It's fucking Bruce.
Lantano, telefono.
First come, first serve.
Exactly. Definitely. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, so we're looking forward to that. We're looking forward to see if that will happen. You heard it here first from us, ladies and gentlemen. We're calling it unexpected event. Eddie Kingston winning the AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Never know. Never say never. So stay tuned for that. And also, let's go ahead and move on now, ladies and gentlemen, with this Sunday's NXT TakeOver. So by far, only WWE Hunter has only announced 5 matches so far. We don't know, they might add more into the card. Coming up is this Sunday, by the way, on the network, 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 7 o'clock Eastern. So stay tuned for that. Obviously, we have the main event, Kyle O'Reilly challenging Finn Balor for the NXT Championship. Damian Priest defending his North American Championship against Johnny Gargano. Io Shirai defending the NXT Women's Championship against Candice LeRae. And the Velveteen Dream versus Kushida. And the NXT Cruiserweight Championship, Escobar defending it against Isaiah Swerve Scott. So I'm assuming they're going to add more matches to it, and I hope they do. They should have added the NXT Tag Team Championship on this one. I don't know if I never did it. I would have done it. But so far, before I even ask, let me go give my response. I'm looking forward of seeing Kushida and Velveteen. This Kushida's first takeover, first of all. And I think him and Velveteen are going to steal the show on this, besides Gargano and Damian Priest. But I feel they'll be the ones who's going to do great as well. I hope they do, and I hope to knock it out the park. Obviously, same with Kyle O'Reilly. I like the package, how they did it this past week of NXT for him, his story, his background, how, where he came from, and how Adam Cole is pushing for him to win. I like that. I cannot wait to see that match. It's going to be a very technical and high-flying match on both parts of the levels. Io Shirai Candice, of course, it's going to be a great women's match. I assume Io should retain, but if Candice LeRae wins, I'll be in shock. And if she does win, I would not be mad either. she's another SoCal native, and I'll be like, congratulations, you deserve it. And she worked her ass off in a independent scene, and for her to finally get a title like that prestige, I will give her that credit. Credit what's due. So we'll see, ladies and gentlemen. So I'll ask you, Mr. Hero, your thoughts about this Sunday's takeover, and who do you expect to steal the show, and what's your expectation about the card?
Yeah, right off the bat, Kushida and Velveteen stood out to me. I do think Finn Balor will retain. Let's see, Io Shirai, I think she'll retain also. But like I said, Candice, she's definitely, I think she's worthy of the title, in my opinion. And I'm not just biased because being a SoCal guy, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But it's looking like a pretty solid takeover, and I'm not sure if this is the very first takeover that's on Sunday, right?
I believe so. It is. If
So
I'm correct, I have to double check
interesting.
on that. Yeah, I know, because there's no other ones after that. Obviously, Hell in a Cell, but that's not until like October 25th, I believe so. But,
Right.
yeah.
So I'll be tuning in. I'll be checking it out. Yeah.
Definitely. Mr. Steamboat, what are you looking forward for this takeover, and which one will steal the show?
So I think one and two, the Candice LeRae Io Shirai is going to be kind of like the ending of their storyline. Finally, it's the final chapter, like it's the climax of their rivalry. That started when that friendship was broken up and Io Shirai turned heel. The Joshi Judas. The Judas of the Sky. As Mauro Ranallo called it. But Kushida, though, right before we started recording today, I was actually just watching an old Kushida CMLL match, and I was pretty, blown away, and I'm excited for all the magic he's gonna pull out of his pocket, So.
Definitely. I cannot wait either. I'm looking forward for that one too, because it's Kushida's first takeover, and Velveteen by far so far, and then you can disagree or not. I mean, I'd like to hear your opinions. By far, Velveteen has not disappointed on singles matches at all. By far, he has not. At any takeover, he's not disappointed. He's actually done a great, phenomenal job putting over, and in him going himself over as well as a talent and as the character himself. So I'm glad he's back as a heel, and I'm glad that he actually pushed Kushida's button. So we're seeing the aggressive side of Kushida, and we saw for the last 2 weeks on NXT. This past week, him, stopping the shit out of Tony Nese and making him tap out with that armbar, like the hoverboard, whatever it's called, how they name it, but it's an armbar. We already know that. But prior to that, he's been aggressive. I'm loving it. I'm loving to see Kushida now getting his push. It's about damn time. He's a former WIGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. So, this guy deserves to be pushed. And obviously, he has to understand that once you come in America, you're going to start from the bottom, bro. And then you got to work your way on top. You're not going to be catered, and especially not at NXT. Look at Finn, look at Joe, look at Sammy, look at, Kevin O, everybody. Nobody got catered at all. Everybody started from the bottom to get up. So, best of luck for Kushida, and we'll be tuning in this Sunday. So, yeah, definitely. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is all for this evening for episode 2222. Oh, flying away. And stay tuned also for this Sunday as we give our top 5 of the week for week 22, as we're going to have CK1, Miss Kennedy, joining us as we give our top 5 managers of all time. So, looking forward for that. Stay tuned for that. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. The description below, at the end of this segment. Click on subscribe and go look at our archives, our top 5s, and don't forget the Sunday to look at as well. And don't forget the following Sunday of that with our top 5 is for week 23 will be the top 5 high flyers of all time. So I'm looking forward to discuss that with everyone here. So don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, tune in every Friday, every Sunday. We're here every Friday, every Sunday, giving you the weekly episodes. Sundays, be giving you, the top 5 episodes. Don't forget to tune in next week for episode 23. as we'll go ahead and give you our thoughts about TakeOver, our updates with the Pure title, updates with the G1 Climax, and also what's going on with the Pro Wrestling News World, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AEW. I'm looking forward for next week's Dynamite, Jericho's 30 years anniversary. I cannot wait. And also wanted to go ahead and announce, even though I'm very excited and still knocking on wood, it's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. We will have next week as well. Stay tuned for that interview. It will come out Friday before our episode for 23. You have to see that episode as well. It'll come out at different times. But we will interview Mr. PP Ray. That is Mr. Ray Rosas. He will be joining us next week for an interview. I cannot wait. He is, the Heritage Champion for CHW, and he competed just recently on Dark, on AEW Dark, so watch his matches. You don't know who Ray Rosas is, YouTube him. He's on Wiki. Matt said he's on Wikipedia, and man, he's another SoCal native. So I cannot wait to, for us to, have a discussion with him, how it all started, and where would it go, in the future. So, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel below. This is your host of Devious One Ivan C, with the Matt's World of the Riddles, of the Murphys, of the Seidels, Cordonas, the Kellermans, the Steamboats. I could go on and on and on. He has a list of Matt's World, and that is Miss Matt Steamboat. And also we have the hero that's saving us from this destruction, from Retribution and everybody else. He is the man that gives you the ear. He's listening to you guys. Then he says no, and then he flexes, and then he gives the other flex, and then he yes. And that is the man with the 12-inch python, the great American hero, Mike Lopez, saying to you guys, salute. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you Sunday, and we'll see you next week.